I'll flag there is a Deemed to Satisfy guide. It's both on the Water Sensitive SA website and also built into the InSite Water SA. So if you're doing the small stuff, the 2 or 3 townhouses, you probably, in 90% of cases, you'll just be able to do the tick the box approach in the Deemed to Satisfy. But there'll be 10% of times where you probably need more advanced software. And there's also a user manual if you want to know more, or as you work through your first projects, do have a look at the manual that we've written.
Okay, anyone else had a last question that they want to direct to Ian?
My question is, now this is the lot scale development. So if there is a lot, if you have a one house or a few houses, now the gutters are designed for 1 in 20, and then you're talking about all this rainwater tank retention and detention. Now, if 1 in 100-year storm event happens, in that particular lot, say, how that going to be managed? Because if there is one thing is should be captured, and then you need to discharge, or you need to really have an overland flow path or to go to the street, or otherwise it's going to stay in that, say the land is slope towards the back, so then it's going to be an issue. So this is one of the property flooding, if because we need to really manage that 1 in 100 years anyway. But for the land division, that's a different case. But I am talking about the infill development, and then especially for the individual houses.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of, I guess, different opinions, and I don't take any particular approach as to what's right or wrong. I just try and, I guess, cater for what people want to do with the tool. So certainly you can capture a 1 in 100-year storm and prevent it. Say if it's a rear loaded lot and you really want to stop overland flow over the back fence to cause a nuisance, you can do a 1 in 100-year storm. It just tends to be very big engineering and very expensive, but it's certainly possible. If it is truly only going to happen once every 100 years, in theory, it's something you deal with more with insurance because it's a natural disaster than necessarily trying to engineer the risk away, particularly as most pits and gutters are only designed to a 1 in 20. So in your 1 in 100-year storm, there's going to be a foot of water over the whole site. All the gutters will be overflowing, and the pits will be, and pipes will be filled and backing up and overflowing as well. So it is about thinking about your overland flow paths. Now, that major system design is kind of outside the scope of InSite Water because we don't do the analysis, I guess, of the relative levels and overland flow paths. However, if you were to say want to design an OSD tank for a 1 in 100-year storm, you could do it with InSite. You would just set that. You would set the setting to capture a 1% AEP event, and that would actually give you the size of the OSD tank that you'd need. So it's not recommended, but you can do it if.
But that's going to be a underground, or tank or something like that. Yeah,
it would be an underground tank, and if you were serious about it, you'd also be trying to do your gutters and pits and pipes to a 1 in 100-year event, which once again you can do, but you'd be looking at, say, how drainage is done in Thailand or Malaysia or Singapore, where you don't bother with gutters. You just have a 1 meter deep, half-meter wide trench around the perimeter of your house. That's how you do your gutters for that sort of rainfall intensity. you know, if you're serious. But it really comes down to, I guess, an analysis of a risk analysis. You know, what is the risk? Is it going to be more expensive just to fix the damage, replace the neighbor's carpet once every 100 years, or is it, you know, going to be cheaper to put these heavy duty engineering solutions in at the fence line? It's quite often it's for the really big flood events. It's a matter of mitigating the damage as opposed to necessarily trying to prevent the impacts.
Yeah, I understand that. Thanks for that, Ian. But the only thing I am thinking of is because the lot sizes are much larger in the past. So
Yep.
all that managed within the properties. So nowadays, you know, people are buying and then subdividing into, you know, 1 into 2 or 1 into 3, or, you know, so then that becoming more and more issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all I am just ask. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah.
No, it's
Okay,
interesting.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jude.
Thanks again, everyone. Thanks a lot, Ian. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.